Welcome to the second part of The Young Manager. Seung-ho comes to the bathroom next door and knocks on the Seung-ho, but he doesn't know it's inside. He looks down the door and kneeled and looked down but sees nothing. And he says no, he's just broke in. No one is here, I think it's from somewhere else. And the girl said, who knows, I will check inside. Seung-ho was shocked by her because she would see him. And she climbed the toilet to look from the top to see who was inside. I confused you, Seung-ho, from her, and he says in himself, no, don't do it. Seung-ho remained confused what to do because he would be in an embarrassing situation when she saw him. But the girl saw him feeling very ashamed and embarrassed about this situation. And he says, no, don't look at me. Seung-ho said, what's wrong with you? What did you see? Is there anyone here? But suddenly you say no one here thinks it's broken. Seung-ho marvels at her reaction. And do you say who broke this surprise? And he says to himself why she did it and pretended to be ignorant as if she hadn't seen me. The girl got out of the toilet saying, what we are going to do we finish what we started? And he says, of course, and takes off his pants. Seung-ho marvels at her and he says how to do it, and she knows I'm here. But she doesn't care about it, and it continues. And he says, what are you planning? Do you want me to hear you do it here? And she tells Seung-ho, do you want to change position? Seung-ho is ashamed of her, but he also didn't control himself. Seung-ho came out of the bathroom and went to his office. But he is unable to concentrate at work. And he says they kept doing it until the lunch break is over. And he says he hasn't seen anything like this in his life. And suddenly, a message comes to him from the same girl who was in the bathroom, and her name is Chae-sun. You want to see it on the roof? Seung-ho went to the surface. And I admire the beautiful view of the roof. And she said, you came? You've never come here before, aren't you? And he says yes, it's the first time, and tells her that the look is beautiful here. He has to come from time to time here. And suddenly Chae-sun apologizes to him. And she tells him what happened before in the bathroom. You thought I was perverted, right? He said, no, I thought it was crazy, no more. She tells him that she will leave work because it is a difficult and boring job. I even wrote the resignation. This is the evidence. Before I left the company, I wanted to make some memories with my boyfriend, she said. And she says, I thought I would stop after knowing you were in the bathroom, but I kept doing it. I'm sorry. I wanted to experience an exciting and crazy experience as a sexual adventure. He tells her there is no need to apologize. Each of us wants to go through his own adventures. And she said, even you. He said, of course, do it in toilets, public places, in the car, and even in the cinema. And he tells her there is no need to regret. And suddenly he grabs his hand as he confused you. And she says, I want to ask you something. Meanwhile, they went together to the restaurant to tell him what you wanted. And she told him, I want you to introduce a man to someone. And Phil told her, who is he? She told him she was assistant manager Yu Jeon. He said what the manager helped someone. She told him, and is there a problem with that? He said no, but why are you asking me to? She told him, I feel bad for me because she's always alone. I think you know someone who is right for her. He said, I have no problem, but I don't know if she will agree. Suddenly the assistant manager enters them and says, I don't know if there is a suitable person. Seung-ho is shocked by her, and she tells him why you are here. He told her I would give you a drink. She said, I didn't expect you to be here. And Chae-sun tells them it's a surprise for them to meet each other. And Seung-ho says surprised by her and what she wants him to do. The assistant director of Seung-ho said it was very social that he got to know Chae-sun so quickly. Chae-sun told Seung-ho, does he know a good person he knows to offer to the assistant manager? The assistant director said there was no need to introduce another man to her and said he was not taking care of her. She suggested raising a toast on the occasion of the success of Seung-ho's professional life. But they drank a lot until they got drunk. Seung-ho took the manager after she had more drinking and carried her on his back to her apartment. Chae-sun calls him to find out if he got her home and tells her that she got drunk and delivered her, but he doesn't know the password. And she says to him the password is 2918. And he entered the password. And he told her, open the door, thank you. And she tells him not to make any follies with her. And he tells her, what you're talking about? I'll go home right away. He put it on the bed looking at her and her body contours, but held himself out and left the house. Seung-ho came back late to his house and he said, Mina's back and sees her sleeping. And suddenly she jumps out of bed and tells him why she was late like this. And she tells him, I want to have sex right now. He told her that she went out with one of the company's employees to drink. She told him, and was it a matter? He told her no, he was a man. And he kissed her. She hugged him and kissed him hard. And he told her, is you still mad at me? She said, no, I'm not. He told her not to get angry when she slapped your leg. And she told him, no, I totally forgot that. Why are you still thinking about it? Forget it wasn't important. She told him, am I really beautiful? He said, yes, you're beautiful. She told him that her period approached. Do you want to continue talking about our fight, or do you want to do it with me? He said, I'm already taking off my clothes. And suddenly she tells him to wait a moment. And she smelled his neck and said, there is a woman's perfume on your neck. Seung-ho was shocked by her, and he doesn't know what to do or say to her. He said, what is the perfume of women? What are you talking about? And she smelled his neck and said, that's true, this is a woman's perfume. She told him, where did he come from? He smelled his neck and told her, I can't smell anything. Suddenly remembered that this perfume is the perfume of the assistant manager. And she tells him, where is this perfume from? Mina got dressed and told him, why is there a woman perfume smell on you? Who is this bit? And he thinks to himself he will end if he tells her the truth. He told her that it was not the case. I carried the assistant manager because he was drunk. And she said, is this assistant manager a woman? Who said, no, he is a man. She said, and any man who wears a perfume of this kind, do you want me to believe it? You are lying. He told her not to lie. Maybe he used this perfume because if it smells like it, you can call him if you don't believe me. And Mina thought about it. And she told him to give me your phone, I'll call him. He hesitated and she said she gave me. He gave her the phone and he was afraid to call him. She told him what his name is. He told her his name is the assistant manager, Seung-ho. And she told him, well, it will end with you if you are lying. He told her, I told you the truth. Will you call him at this last time? She already called him and the phone rings and rings, but no one answers the call. And she said, he's ringing, so it's true, and I don't think you lie. He thanked God because she didn't know yet. And she told him, I will trust you this time, but don't lie in the future. And she told him not to repeat what I did before. And he kissed her. And he told her, I'm sorry, Mina, I'll do my best. She said, and how to do it? He pushed her on the bed and told her, I would show you. And she told him, show me how. As she lay on the bed staring at her, his manager imagined her. I wondered at him and said, why he stared at me like that. And he says in himself that I thought about the manager and she is in front of me. She told him, how nice you are, and you are doing it with me. But if you do it with another thing, I will kill you. And she told him, you're different today. After the fun, Seung-ho feels very tired. Suddenly he slept quickly and started snoring from the intensity of fatigue. And at the moment the Seung-ho phone is ringing. Mina said, who is calling Alan late? And she took the phone, and I looked at him, and here Mina was shocked by what she saw.